जय जय राम ओम।
जय राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। Today we saw somebody having notebook. So you tell us some points on which you would like us to share, connected with inquest of God, connected with the in-depth study of inquest of God.
May I, Swamiji? Great Wall explain.
Great Wall. we now feel that there is a purpose in bringing that great void on the first chapter itself. That is how he prompts us from within. When he was passing through severest trust, he prayed. Then he writes, the cry was heard, and from the great void came the voice. He did not say Ram, he did not say God, he did not say anything else, but he first introduced the word great void. What could be the reason? Later on, when we happen to go through some portions in Yoga Vasishtha, we happen to come across this word. So that means Papa must have been going through intensely. And he was able to get a glimpse of that. It is full, it is nothing. It is nothing in the sense, nothing of what is known to us. Whatever we have known, the knowables, whatever we have understood as objects or anything, when that is all removed, what do we say that? That nothing. But is it that nothing? Yes, it is that nothing, but it is not nothing. If it is void, we can say now this is void, there is nothing here. Space. But it is great void. When we keep on chanting Ram Nam mentally, try, please. Close your eyes and mentally chant. If the mind goes out, open the eyes, again close. If you have tried, what do you feel? What do you experience? It is difficult to express, but try. When you mentally chant, do you feel the chanting floats? Do you become aware of the chanting?
Somebody is chanting inside. Somebody is chanting inside.
Somebody is chanting inside. How do we know?
We are hearing.
Huh?
We are hearing that.
We are hearing that. Where from that hearing takes place? Yes, you are right.
Same source.
So there is a chanting going on.
And hearing is also.
So the chanting goes on, that is being realized because the other, where it is there, there is nothing other than the chanting.
Other than
What is that? Can you explain? Can't explain. That is, we can say something nearer to this great word. We mentally chant. Every day, suppose we start chanting mentally. A stage comes when the chanting goes on, as he said, We cannot say that somebody is chanting. Chanting goes on and we become, that expression is not right, but still we become aware of the chanting. Okay? We become aware of the chanting. That is why we say it is chanting going on. No. Somebody is aware. Who is the who becomes aware? Chanting is being realized. Chanting is being heard. Chanting is being known. By whom?
Chanter.
Huh?
The person or the chanter itself.
Who is that person? Who is that person? No. You are right. This is how we go within. It is not, nothing is wrong. This is a fundamental question. No? What is raised is the fundamental question. Great word.
Can't it be done of mind? Mind only chants.
Huh?
Mind
chants. He says mind chants.
What is mind? Again we have to try to understand. What is the mind? Mind is nothing but thought flow. Chanting is also a thought. So when you mentally chant, forget about all let the intellect not come there. We are chanting. What happens? We have reached a stage where we come to know that the chanting is going on. Then we are trying to find out who knows that we are chanting. Where from that wells up? The chanting floats as it were. That is why we are hearing, Please apply your mind. Be attentive. We are aware of the chanting. That expression is not right, but we cannot express in any other way. So that is why it is put in passive voice. The chanting is being heard. The chanting is being known. The chanting is being realized. By whom? When there are no thoughts, other than the thought of Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, all other thoughts are not there, only this thought is there. And when only this thought is there, the awareness wells up. That means even this Om Shri Ram, mental chanting of Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram is floating in it. Is floating in the awareness. That awareness is called the Great Word.
Only awareness remains.
Awareness absolute. Not aware of, awareness itself. I become aware of the surrounding, that is, the subject has come, the thought has come, and me the thought is identifying, okay. But here, awareness itself, how do we know? We take to mental chanting for a long time and see that no other thoughts intrude, and then suddenly the chanting is known, chanting is realized, chanting is being heard. Then the next question, how do we know?
It's because of the silence sound.
Silence.
Third way, it is
Then,
third way silence.
then silence is great void.
Can we make it more clear? Hearing means only about the feeling that we are chanting mentally. Always the question of hearing means what does it mean here?
You try. This cannot be, intellect should not play here. Only experience trial. If we suppose the intellect plays, then it is taking away from that. Simply you chant mentally. Then when you keep on chanting, all other thoughts are not there. Only this chanting goes on. And then a stage comes, the chanting is being known. You feel, no? Chanting is being heard. Chanting is being realized. So chanting floats. Chanting is being witnessed. Because the thought cannot explain that, no. So we are trying to eliminate all other thoughts with only one thought is there, that is called Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. And that when it is free from all thoughts, then the awareness, it reveals itself. Not only now, also it is revealing. You first close your eyes and find out, how do you know that you are here? The amness, not the I or me. You are the R-ness. I am there, the amness, the beingness. How can you explain? Bereft of thought. The September-October vision last year. We remember the dialogue between
2020.
The dialogue between Yajnavalkya and
That Shraddha was.
Janaka. That's why we say, on the Amavasya day at 12 o'clock midnight, when there is pitch dark and you are in that room, do you need any light to know that you are sitting there? No. What is that light?
Knowingness.
You may say, it's my mind says. Acha, then mind means nothing but thought. You also know that there are good thoughts, bad thoughts, negative thoughts, positive thoughts, creative thoughts, deploring thoughts. Then that means who? Somebody is there to name it, no? Somebody labels it, no? Think. This is the fundamental question, great void. Probably Papa wanted us, before we take up the inquest of God, we should have some idea, some idea which cannot be explained, but at least we will do some manana to go nearer to that great void. Mataji had also explained in detail about this. உடம்பில் இருக்கிற சக்தி
makes us realize
mysterious powers சொல்றோமே அதான் இருக்கும் இல்லையா
think you have to do the churning. It cannot be put in black and white, but in the churning everybody will get some butter. there was a dialogue between expert from Bhagavad Gita. There are two revelations. Let us see whether it is of any use. But we have to ensure that the intellect does not play its role here. Then we will not reach anywhere. When we read this also, there is an Ekashloki by Adi Shankara. It says, what is the source of light for you? He asked the question. Disciple, to me, during the day it is the lofty sun. At night it is the lamp and the like. Guru, let it be so. Tell me, in seeing the sun and the lamp, what is the source of illumination?
Eyes.
Oh, that is the eye. Guru, when that eye is closed, then the Shishya says, it is intelligence. Alright. What reveals to the intelligence its function? Beyond that, he could not go. So he said, it is my own self, the I. Well, your own self is then the supreme brilliance, the ultimate light, the first and the last source of illumination, is it not? Yes. So this is one method. Yajnavalkya and this is a little more explicit. Again, it may not be very clear unless we go deep down within. There is an interesting question and answer session between King Janaka and Yajnavalkya related to the knowledge of the self. King Janaka, O revered sage, what is the light that illumines a person? The light that awakens and impels him to perform all that he does. What is the light? Yajnavalkya gave a very straightforward answer. The sun, O king. For it is the sun alone that is the source of all light. And it is for this light that man sits, moves about, does all his work and returns. That is right, O venerable sage, but when the sun has set, what is it that helps man as light? The moon. It is the moon that is the light of the man when the sun is not there. All right? But when the sun is not there, the moon is also not there. Then what is it that guides man as his light? Yajnavalkya replied, when the sun has set and the moon is not there, fire is our light, for by that we sit, work and go out and come back. I am in agreement with you, said Janaka. But what then is the light when there is no sun, no moon and no fire? Speech. Indeed, it is the light when all these are absent. Even though we cannot see our hand in the dark, we can hear the voice and move toward the sound. Janaka was happy, but he had still one more question. O revered sage, when sun sets, the moon is not there, fire is absent, there is no speech, then what is the light? Through this elimination theory only we can try to move toward that. Janaka was deeply, the self indeed is our light, O king, for by that we sit, move, work, go out and come back. Self means spirit, Atman. Janaka was deeply touched by this, but wanted to know from Yajnavalkya more about the self that he referred to as the light of all lights, to which the sage replied, the self is the pure awareness that shines as the light within the heart, surrounded by the senses. It is this self that is one with the sole reality, the Brahman. This self is free from desire, from evil, from fear. The Atman, the man who in union with this self sees without seeing, smells without smelling, tastes without tasting, speaks without speaking, hears without hearing, touches without touching, thinks without thinking, knows without knowing, for there is nothing separate from him. This state of not having another is the state of unity, one without a second, and that is the world of Brahman. This is the supreme goal of life, the supreme treasure, the supreme joy. When we read this, our intellect will come and try to do something, never allow it. So the only thing is we have to try. Let not the intellect try to understand it. So we will try now in our own way. Every day in the bhajan hall at 12 o'clock or 12:30, we read the universal prayer for world peace. What is the first line? Adorable presence, A and P capital. Adorable presence. Sanidhyam. What is the Sanidhyam? Thou who art within and without, above and below and all around. Thou who art interpenetrating the very cells of our being. Thou who art the eye of our eye. There we stop. You know that you are seeing, na? Can you see that knowledge with your eyes? The one who is able to see through the eyes. Eyes by itself cannot see, no? In a dead body also eyes are there. The eye of the eye, no? So no other thought should come. Then we are carried away by that. We are plumbing deep within, no? We don't want any more reference. We are trying to find out who is seeing through my eyes. We are trying to understand what is awareness. We are trying to understand what is great void. Mataji says, the gap between the earth and the sky, that is the great void. Everything is accommodated, but it is not there in anything, It is a great void, it is nothing, in which so many things are there. In this room, so many things are there. Table, chair, this one, light, fan. Tomorrow also, if the space does not get affected. Space is not in the chair. Chair is in the space. So this is great word. This awareness. In the awareness, the thought comes. When the thought flow is called the mind. When it is samshayatmika, when it is doubting and vacillating, it is called the mind. When it is decisive, it is called intellect. These are all intellectual. Samshayatmika and nishchayatmika. So when it takes a decision, that means based upon the memories, experience, it takes a decision, and that is called intellect. Forget about all those things. We are trying to find out where does the thought exist. So Papa uses the word great void to make us know that it is purely that alone remains, because then only we can say that alone remains. In this room there are so many objects. This room itself, prior to its construction, it was a part of the open space. When it got constructed, though we say Centenary Hall, it is nothing but that space. Tomorrow, if we remove the roof and the side wall, the same space exists, untouched, undiminished. So, in the space, everything exists. You cannot say everything is in the space, correct? But space is not in everything. So the easy way, not easy way, but relatively easy way to understand great void is to think about the space. So when Papa meant Ram is, yesterday we saw that, Ram, the only reality, is a subtle and mysterious power that pervades and sustains the whole universe. He wanted all of us to get initiated into this process. Then only you will be able to really understand the whole text. Who is this Ram? Then he says, after using the word great void, the next line he says, the cry was heard, and from the great void came the voice, despair not, trust me, thou shalt be free. And this was the voice of Ram. So intuitively he heard. Though that the hearing, it came from this great void. So great void is the substratum, is the base, beyond which no explanation can be offered. So every one of us, today it is good that Papa prompted to dwell on this great void, because that alone is the answer, that alone can give us the answer for the rest of the chapters. The source of everything. Just think, at the Amavasi day, when you sit alone, you don't need anybody to know that you are there. That beingness is there. That beingness, that's what is meant. For all other purposes, we need a light. But to know that you are there now, you are alive. That would be better. You are alive now, All the organs are working. Mind is thinking, hearing, everything is there. That life force. Will we be able to define? It is not void, it is a great void. Void means nothing. Great void means it encompasses everything in it. Despair not, trust me. The cry was heard, and from the great void came the voice. Despair not, trust me, thou shalt be free. And this was the voice of Ram. So Ram is being introduced as great void. Mahashunyam, Mahatshunyam. Hmm?
That which is in everybody.
That which is in
That which is in everybody else. That which exists in
Everybody.
everything exists in that. Everything is floating in that. Puja Swamiji said, consciousness, I don't know whether you remember, as if everybody is floating in it. Consciousness absolute, that is called great void. Then everything is floating in it. A deep inward study alone can give us some glimpse of this, and we cannot express it beyond that. The light of lights. This is what Lord Krishna also said in, what is the slogan? Jyotisham Vidat Joshi. Tamasat Paramuchyate. Jnanam Nyayam Jnanagumyam. Anyway, let it be there. In Kathopanishad it says, no?
Jyoti, silent Jyoti.
Huh?
Jyoti, silent Jyoti.
Jyoti, Jyoti, Swayam Jyoti.
That is in, okay, that is also there. In Kathopanishad, Natatra Suryo Bhadi Nachandra Tarakam, Nema Vidyudo Bandi Kudo Yamagrihi, Tameva Bandam Manubadi Sarvam, Tasya Basa Sarvam Vidam Vibhasi. Tasya Basa, because of which everything is illumined. No? Everybody tried, no? With all the knowable tools they tried to convey, but it cannot be conveyed. The light of lights. So does it mean that Papa wants us to get stabilized in that and then start doing it? Wow.
Because we are getting stuck up there only, Swamiji.
We will get stuck there. That means, that is the real point, the base. The sense of individuality is floating in that. Sense of individuality refuses to accept that it is there. But sense of individuality cannot exist by itself. Only through anecdotes and analogies we can try to move closer to that. But there is a limit.
The infinite love, infinite love, அங்கே அது ஓபன் அப் ஆகாதனால நம்ம அந்த வாய்டுக்குள்ள போக முடியல.
Who feels the body and all its sense organs? Who feels? Also, who senses the internal mind, intelligence and ego? If we stop for a while and look within, we understand that there is something different from the body, which is the witness and revealer of the body and its actions. Like when the mental chanting is being heard by whom? Our intellect will say, I am hearing it. No. Then we will ask him, who are you? Are you a thought? No. If you are not a thought, then how can you say this? So there is a silence. Think about all these things, Who feels the body with all its senses? And also who senses the internal mind, intelligence and ego? If we stop for a while and look within, we understand that there is something different from the body, which is the witness and revealer of the body and its action. Similarly, it witnesses the changes of the mind, its thought processes, emotions, sentiments. As an onlooker, one can detachedly go on witnessing how the mind works and reacts. Something also revealed that observe the intelligence, how the intelligence takes decision, becomes confident, gains clarity. What is that which reveals all this? What is the source of this illumination? In this shloka, just now we heard, no? Kim jyodistava bhanumana hanani ratrau pradeepadigam shyadevam revidiva darshana vidhau kim jyotir आख्यायहि मे चक्षुश्चक्ष्य निमीलनादि समये किम धी धियो दर्शने किम who he keeps on asking, kim tatraha ato bhavan jyodistavam prabho. Adi Shankara's Ekashloki explained by Bhumananda Swami. So here Bhuman Swami has written this. So he says, essentially one is eternal, changeless, impersonal soul. But one mistakenly identifies himself with his body and considers the perishable body as oneself, the I. The soul is ever brilliant. The source is of all illumination. Because of the soul's illuminating power alone, everything including one's body is revealed. Ignorance about the true nature of the self makes us think that we are able to see objects because of the power of sight of the eyes. Also because the sun or the lamp illumines the objects to be seen. Truly speaking, what is the supreme brilliance that perceives and witnesses all objects, including one's own body, mind and intelligence? So the best way is, though we may not be able to get a clear-cut black and white answer, we try this mental chanting. Mental chanting drives away all other thoughts and only one thought, that mental chanting goes on, then slowly the awareness which was clouded, which was covered by all other thoughts, when that thought is removed, the awareness emerges as the witness, and when the thought comes and questions who knows, immediately it stops. That is why Papa used to say, of all the chanting, mental chanting is the most efficacious one. Because that will make us, take us to the great world. The substratum, the base. So in the fourth line itself, Papa is asking us indirectly. We take it like that, no? It may be right or wrong, we don't know. In the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th line, he says, he brings this great world. And G and V are capital. Where is relief, where is rest? This was the heart's cry of Ramdas. The cry was heard, and from the great void came the voice, despair not, trust me, thou shalt be free. This was the voice of Ram. So while he was chanting, he was very clear about this. That is why he had no confusion at all. That is why later on he told us, you should know that you are chanting the name of one who is seated within this awareness. And because of him, you are chanting. That all thoughts are in him. He is not in all thoughts. Just like the space is there in all the objects. We cannot say space is there in the mic, here. Everything is in the space. It's a very, very, very important question. So, somebody said, we get stuck there. Yes. Either we now just leave it like that and allow us to go through certain experiences and then try, otherwise we get stuck. Somewhere in the mind this inquiry should be there. Great word, great word, great word, great word. Substratum, base. The light of all lights. Then we go, probably we might get some light as we keep on going. Why we say so, no? He undertook the journey, came back, and then started writing, So some idea he has given. There is a meaning why he brought this great word. When Lord Rama asked Vasishtha, when he was still trying to convey this, he said, why don't you say what is that? No, he became restless. Then along with so many explanations, Vasishtha also brought this word void. Because beyond that we cannot explain. Na? It is not shunyam. Shunyam means nothingness. Nothingness means nothing of what we know. The great container, okay. The great container, we have some idea, no? So we can say, so we put so many things. There is nothing in this, we say, there is nothing in this glass. There is nothing in this glass. So nothing means, but space is there fully, So this is something, we need not go through any text, please. That will only add complications, confusions. Better try in our own way. We try through mental chanting. We observe what is happening. What is the experience we come out of this? Again and again and again and again. We have to take a dip into this. From the bank, suppose we start explaining about, it will not help. In one of the books Papa has written, sometimes Ramdas feels whatever he has written is not right. Because to convey this inexplicable, though we use certain terminologies, again it makes us to revolve in the same plane, not to get out of the plane. Is it clear? When we keep on talking and thinking about this, we revolve in the same,
In circles.
Circle. We want to get out of that circle. And we again use so many terms and terminologies. And then we get again caught. Never we are attempting to go out of it. So that the only way is to stop all this and try to do the mental chanting and see what is happening in us, taking a dip into it. Because in the vocal chanting and probably in the silent chanting also, though silent chanting is also a little bit subtler, safest thing is the mental chanting. So when from vocal chanting, we will try for the silent chanting or mental chanting. Mental chanting, if once we get this, then probably the mind will not feel that it gets stuck there. It is slowly being witnessed. The mind becomes aware of its existence in the Great One. Mind means the thought. The thought becomes aware of its base. When there are so many thoughts, it is covered, On a glass, suppose you cover the whole thing. It will not reveal. So we call it a dust or something and we clean it. Then it becomes transparent. So similarly, our inside movement is covered with so many thoughts. So in order to drive away all the thoughts, we need one thought. And that thought is Ram Nam. And that thought, when it is vocally chanted, still we have seen from our experience that the mind may go out hither and there. At times it will be hearing its own chanting, but it is not steady. That is why immediately after the chanting, we don't feel the base. So now when we sit and try the mental chanting, it is not that easy, but when we keep on trying it, the mental chanting process eliminates all other thoughts and becomes aware of the base in which it exists. That base is called the Great World. So from that base he heard this thought, despair not, trust me. So today's take-home message can be put like this, that he wants every one of us to take to some discipline like mental chanting to free ourselves from the clutches of all our thoughts and then have a glimpse of the base or the substratum from where the mental chanting or in whom the mental chanting floats. So what is to be practiced is mental chanting. The next line. These encouraging words of Ram proved like a plank thrown towards the man struggling for very life in the stormy waves of the raging sea. Thenceforward, a part of the time that was formerly totally devoted to worldly affairs was taken up for the meditation of Ram. This process we can say is meditation. Mental chanting and trying to feel the base, the substratum on which the chanting floats. That process is called the internal journey, inward journey, or meditation. So he says, a part of the time that was formerly totally devoted to worldly affairs was taken up for the meditation of Ram, who for that period gave him real peace and relief. Gradually, love for Ram, the giver of peace, increased. Love of Ram, love of great void. No? So any effort to go to drill towards the great void is named as meditation here. So in the waking state, when we are on, the more Ramdas meditated on and uttered his name, the greater the relief and joy he felt. So it is very clear now it should go together. No? Meditated on and uttered his name. That part we have not given that much importance so far. No? Even today we would have been chanting, but this aspect, only that person knows whether this aspect has also been included. Meditated on and uttered his name. That means an effort to move toward the source from which the chanting is going on. So there is some clue for all of us. By bringing the word great void, by introducing the word great void, if you had used only Ram, many of us may get a lot of ideas, no? The personal aspect. So he wanted that first to be plugged, the impersonal person. So great void. So many approaches are to be tried. In Bhagavad Gita it says, Jyotisham avidat jyoti tamasap paramuchyate jnanam nyayam jnanagamyam kriti sarvasya vishtitam. That is the light even among the lights. And it has been spoken of as beyond darkness. It is knowledge, capital K, that which is to be known and the goal of knowledge. Sri Krishna says that the eternal essence is the light among all the lights. The word light in the Vedas refers to awareness, to knowledge. It is the eternal essence that provides the power of awareness, the power to know. Without the eternal essence, we would have no awareness, no sentience. In other words, the eternal essence gives awareness to the intellect, which gives it to the mind, then to the senses. But the mind, intellect, senses cannot immediately contact the eternal sense. Now, just like the word light refers to knowledge, the word darkness refers to ignorance. 5 o'clock. Papa himself answers to another, the light of lights. God is light and joy, God is love and wisdom. When life becomes a light to itself and to others, it is self-revealed and the magnificence of it is past thought and expression. May such a light spread all over the world. May humanity be blessed with the vision of that light. Love, harmony may prevail. We start to reach Him as separate from Him, but ultimately the fusion between us and Him becomes so complete that duality disappears. We stand revealed as He Himself. Confusing diversity then gives place to absolute unity. May-June 2020 gives a lot in vision, gives a lot of such clues. Inner light. Tomorrow we'll continue this. But what is more important is not reading. Somewhere we have to take the plunge and see for ourselves. Because the intellect will play havoc. Sit down, we have to say, and we try to take a dip. Papa, in a later vein, some says, how long can you prepare, no? He says we should let go the arrow. We have been now trying to prepare, but we are not plunging into it. So that is why it is suggested that we try to, from the verbal chanting, vocal chanting to silent chanting, or straight away go to the mental chanting, if it is possible. Otherwise, through silent chanting, we go to the mental chanting. And mental chanting will surely help us. So even when we, after the session, when we go, we can try that mental chanting. Because nobody should be there, that's the only thing. No talking, He says, Jnanavalkya says, see without seeing, eat without tasting. If you have to understand that there is no duality there, that means thought is not there. And how can we express a stage? We are in the realm of thought. And how can we express that stage which is free from thoughts? So better not indulge in it. Better let us try to see how the thought gets arrested. So probably the best way, or the relatively best way for all of us, is somehow practice this mental chanting. In a day we try to spend some time for mental chanting. And if we try to get a glimpse of that, something nearer to that great void, something nearer to that awareness, something nearer to that witness consciousness, probably the rest of the things will gradually become clear. And we will be able to understand every word of Papa in that light. Now we are trying to understand Papa's words through our own knowledge, not our own experience. That is why we are struggling. So forget about all these things, let us plunge into it. 5 minutes we will try. It will be difficult to mentally chant for 5 minutes. It is not that easy. So we will try. But everything is possible by regular practice, repeated practice. Somewhere, are we reaching somewhere? Huh? Some clues, some hints. No answer means there are two ways. One is that you are completely convinced.
Maybe we are satisfied wherever we have.
Silence is the answer.
Complete.
So let us belong to the first category. The silence is the best answer.
The same line is repeated.
Because it is difficult. Beyond certain level, it can't be explained.
Something. The same line is repeated as the next pair. So, whenever free from worldly duties,
Whenever free from worldly duties.
whenever free from worldly duties,
Hmm.
he the period ever so small. He
The
would
period
meditate
ever
on
so
past
small.
and aphorisms. Are they nested pairs? Third time.
Whenever free from worldly duties, be the period ever so small, he would meditate on Ram and utter his name. So he was trying through this mental chanting or something. By meditation, he has explained elsewhere. It's a mental process by which we are moving towards the source of our being. You can call it in any name. So let us also try whenever the mind, even if the period ever so small. But this is the fundamental. Whether we should get stuck or move away, it depends upon the person. But it would be better to get some more clarity on the word great void before we move. So tomorrow, before we meet, somebody may be able to say something about it. We hope. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Yes, I think he has put us on in quest of God, no? He has really put us on in quest. Because everybody is now thinking, what is this great void, great void, great void, great void? How am I to know about the great void? He is putting us. Don't think that, he has abandoned us. He is taking us. That is why this question came. You get some clarity, not through your intellect, but through your own training. Just like cooking or anything, we have learned only by experience, not by learning. That is only general guidance. What we have learned, whether it is driving, whether it is writing, whether it is talking, anything that we are doing it now, it is because of repetitive, whole-souled, dedicated involvement. So Papa wants us to push on that and he wants to put us on the rails so that it will carry us. So he said, you think about in quest of God, and you think about great void. When you think about great void, that means you are in quest of Him. The very fact that you are thinking about Him through the word great void, you are in quest of Him. So let us know that He is with us. He is guiding us. He is with us. We are not aware, but He is guiding us now. Know more and more intensely about great void. That's why I have put the word great void. Oh, Previously we just read Papa and then, no. Now you are thinking and I make you to think. And that itself will put you on the rail, in quest of God, in quest of that reality, in quest of that base, in quest of that substratum, in quest of that awareness. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
This 31st we will only think of
Swamiji,
brain.
pranam.